Yo, what's going on? It's your man, Worst Taylor. Salute. How y'all feeling? So this is my Ready to Launch series where I focus on businesses that are trying to get more customers and ultimately make a reliable income. So I wanted to do this training. I wanted to answer the question. If you ever have any questions, if you're trying to build a business, 6 or 7 figures, I've been able to help multiple businesses be able to do that. I've done it for myself. But I've worked with people like Eric Thomas and David Shands and Him 500 and people like Tarek Lynn Smith and Rochelle T. Parks, Tiffany Haynes. The list just goes on, y'all. I've been out in this industry for a while and I've been able to launch some amazing people, products, and services. So I wanted to start this series where I just started teaching some of the things that I do and that I know, and I want to help you all out as well. So the question was, what are some marketing strategies for startups? So I got 3 things for you that I think is important for startups. One is you need to focus strictly on, if you're just starting your business, before you even try to sell a product or put a product out, don't focus on sales. Focus on building an audience. You want to build community around your product or service. Like what you offer, build community around that. So what I'm asking you to do is get people that already are looking for what you do. So let's say if you help people, establish their credit. Okay, cool. Find people that already have bad credit that need your services and start to just nurture them and teach them and build up an audience. So start putting out content specifically on those type of things, right? What this is doing is, which is number 2, this is helping you establish your authority in that industry. So in order for you to, as a startup, in order for you to start getting sales right away, all right? Because when we launch a product, we want sales right away. I never launch a product unless I have a community that's already built for people that are ready to take on the product right then and there. So by that, what I mean, I'm going to give you an example. I released a book, this book right here, actually. This book went bestseller on Amazon. It was like number 6. However, before I even finished writing the book, I started putting out certain content on Facebook at the time. That's when I released it, when I was heavy on Facebook. I started going live every single day. And I would say to people like, hey, I'm writing a book for entrepreneurs. Post in the comments below, what are some things that you want to know as an entrepreneur? I've been able to do this and create this type of success. What do you want to know? And I compiled this list of questions. And then I started telling people like, hey, you know what? I'm writing a book that's going to solve these problems. I would love for you to be a part of the entire journey where you get to see the cover of the book. You get to see the information. You get the first read, all of those things. And I just created a simple funnel. A funnel simply is, from the video, I had people join my list. I called it a community, but they were really joining the email list. And by the time I was ready to launch the book, I had 1,200 people on the list. So this is good. I had built up a community of people that were like, I like what you're talking about. I like what you're doing. I also want to continue to learn. So as these people were asking questions, I'm answering them on the live, but I'm also answering them within the book for other people, all those things. So now I have 1,200 people on my list. Well, how did we go to get to a point where we went bestseller? Well, I learned that on Amazon, there was a certain criteria. Amazon wanted to see that you got this many sales within an hour time. And then they wanted to see the reviews on the book and all of those things. So when the book was coming out, I was already telling people, because I had 1,200 people to talk to, hey, the book comes out next week. We need 500 sales in an hour. I think that was the number. We need within an hour. Let's do that in the first 20 minutes. Can we do it? Here, this is going to be the link. I'm going to tell you all when to go. I was able to send out email and text message. So when there was, an hour, a release, when I was about to release the book, I was able to say, 6 p.m. we're releasing the book. Everybody pay attention to your emails. And I sent a message that says, we're 30 minutes away from the release. We're 15 minutes away from the release. All right, book is live. Go, 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 go. Everybody grab the book, grab it, grab it, grab it, grab it, grab it. And what was dope about that is that, and then some people I had allowed to read prior to, like I had just some people, I picked a few people and I asked them to go ahead and do a review. So I had already had an entire community built around this. So the day I went live with my product, I also got sales. What you want as a startup is you want the day that you go live, you want to get sales. Okay? So the first thing I would suggest you do is to start building a community around what you do. Start getting people's names and email addresses. Start putting out content that allows you to attract these people, and then to say, hey, if you want to dig in more, I got something that I want to give you for free, and they're going to get on your list. And now you can just nurture those people. All right. Because that's how you're going to build your authority. You need that authority to be able to let people know that you are the person they should be talking to. I want to know that you're the person, you're the go-to, you're the master in this industry. I want to know that. And if I spend my money, then of course, I'm saying that. If I spend my money, I'm saying like, okay, I trust you. Okay. Another thing, you sending out constant messages and you getting on live and things like that, that's going to build your know, like, and trust, which is something else that you need in order to get sales. Okay. That's the first thing I would focus on doing. The next thing that I would focus on doing is creating that actual launch plan. Okay. You need to know how you're going to make money before you create the product, right? Before you even put out that first piece of content, before you try to get a sale, before you tell a person to click the link on anything, let's establish exactly what is the marketing plan look like? What is the launch plan? Meaning you should establish, all right, I know that the audience I want, they're located on, best thing for me is probably YouTube or Instagram, or I should start a blog or a podcast. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to build my audience here. Okay. So now where you're going to set up shop. Let me give you a quick example. So I used to do, back in the day, I used to do this thing called Be His Services, where we would work with some troubled youth and we would try to work on their behaviors to get them to a point where they can transition better in school and from school to home and just in their normal everyday settings. Well, the way the company billed was through their insurance. So you had to have Title 19 insurance. My friend, he was also doing a company with us, and he did something phenomenal. He was like, well, why don't I go down to the office where you get Title 19 approved and let me set up a booth there. First person I ever seen do this. He talked to somebody there and said, hey, this is the service I provide. Now the person needs to have Title 19 insurance. Do you mind if I come set up a booth for these hours? And they were like, yeah, I think that would be great. So as soon as people would get approved for the services, he would say, hey, ma'am, can I tell you real quick about one of the perks of you having this, this insurance? And sure enough, he was one of the top recruiters, if that's the only word I can think of for. All right. He was a top recruiter for the entire company. So all the coaches, he would get clients for all the coaches. He got signups every single day and would just disperse them amongst everybody else. And it was dope. So what I'm saying is what he did was figured out, okay, who's my audience? Here's my target audience. Where is the best place to meet my target audience where they already are? And then what can I offer them? So I'm asking you to do the same. Figure out who's your audience, where they're set up, and then establish, hey, whatever content that platform is saying you should put out on a regular, now I need you to do that. So if it's YouTube, and YouTube is honoring shorts or long form, or YouTube is honoring live, do that. Do what the platform, the best perk of that platform, do it. Now you've established where you're going to set up shop and put out content and have your information. This puts you in position to constantly get new potential leads in front of you every single day. You have to have, if you're going to make money on the day you launch your business, you have to have a way to get new potential leads in front of you every single day. The next thing you're going to do is when these people get in front of you, you're going to take them on a journey. That journey is, hey, simply, if you do a training, if you put it out, you're going to say, hey, look, I want to dig into this more with you. Or listen, I've just prepared an entire 20-minute video breakdown of everything I just said, and I'll show you how to put it together for yourself. The only thing I need you to do is click on the link in my bio, and I'll send it right to you completely free. What that is now doing is getting you to a point where you're giving a sample of your work, you're building authority, you're teaching, and you're getting people's name, email, and cell phone number. So we're doing what we need to do as far as we're getting in front of new potential customers, and now we've started the process of getting that potential customer to become a customer, right? How are we doing that? By giving them something for free so they know how we teach, so they know they get a sample of our brand, they get a sample of our information, they get a sample of our authority, so we're giving them the free thing. And then in return, we're getting name, email, cell phone number. That way we can communicate on a regular basis. So when I put out new videos or podcasts or blog, I can email that right to you. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to establish, all right, the next part of my launch plan is, how do I get them to actually buy instantly? How do I get them to buy? So the next thing I do is, now it's time to survey people. I always survey the people. I ask them exactly what their pain is and establish a product, and I have them help me establish a product. And then I start the process of like, hey, this is about to release. And I talk about all the transformations that are going to happen when they access this thing. And just like a movie would give you a trailer, and that trailer gets you excited. And then from there, a movie would, start to show you the interviews with different people who's going to be in the movie. It tells you the story, the backstory, all those things. It tells you the date when it's going to be released and tells you to get ready. Now I'm going to start the process of doing it. And then finally, I'm going to go through all of that in email. I'm going to say, hey, this is what we've created. I've surveyed you all. I know this is what you need. Look, on January 4th, I'm going to release my whatever. You're going to release it. And this is going to help you get to the point where you're doing this and this and this and this. All right. I'm so excited. All right. January 4th, I'm going to see you. Now, here, another email will talk about the pricing breakdown. Another email will talk about the pain that you're going to help them overcome. Another email is going to tell your story, where how you were where they are, and now you're on the other side of it. Another email is going to tell about the perks of the product that you're about to give them. Another email is going to tell the story behind why you created this system and how you got to it. Another program is going to talk about the pricing. So now we got to talk about the limiting beliefs that they're going to have. They're going to have a limiting belief about the price. They're going to have a limiting belief about the time or whether they can do it. Now that email is going to kill all the limiting beliefs that they will have about it, right? So, again, there may be about 6 or 7 emails in this process that are going out, a couple text message, and then on the day of, I'm going to actually have a live private training. I'm going to invite everybody. Look, I want to live. We're launching today. Today is release day. Register for my live training. All right, we're going to do this together. It's a launch party. So if I got 1,000 people on my email list and they've been reading my messages, let's say I'm getting a 40% open rate. So 1,000 people, I got 400 people that are opening, okay? And let's say of the 400 people opening, I get at least 50% of them to register. 200 people to register. Perfect, okay? Of that 200 people that register, 100 shows up. All right? 100 shows up. We release the product. Let's say my product is, we'll go with a lower number. Let's say the product is $500. All right, 100 people shows up. $500 is the product. I can convert about 10, 15% there. So maybe I get 15 sales. So at that point, I made what? What's that? About $7,500. So out the gate, I just made, in the startup of my business, I just made $7,500. And guess what, y'all? The only thing that I'm paying for so far is the system that collects the name and email and cell phone numbers and allows me to send out the automated text and emails. That's the only thing I'm paying for. The other thing is just my own effort and me creating a digital product. So, again, you can do this with physical products too, but now you have to add in, your overhead for creating that physical product. But that's how I'm going to do it. So now the day of, I'm going to be in profit, or I'm going to have made some money. I'm going to be, to have made some money to now I can go into the next part of the launch. Now, guess what? There's 400 people that was opening the emails, right? So guess what? I send them the replay of the live training. And then I send nurturing emails or follow-up emails to try to get them back on board. And more than likely, I'm gonna run the same thing again next week, because there was some people, maybe they didn't, they weren't able to get on, they missed it or whatever. But now I got 10 sales or 15 sales, right? We made $7,500. Only 100 people showed up to the first training, to the first live. You can call it training, you can call it a launch party, you can call it whatever you want, right? Only 100 people were able to show up, but I got 1,000 people on my list. I'm gonna do it again. And maybe next time only, because people have seen the emails, maybe only 50 people show up and I get another 5 or 10 sales. Cool, or 7 sales or whatever. That's cool. I make another $3,500. Cool. Now I just had a month where I made over $10,000 that month, right? And guess what I'm gonna do now? Because you're not using ads, so you don't have the consistent number of traffic. By traffic meaning more and more people that are new that are coming in. I'm gonna go right back into the mode of putting out my content, getting more people on my list. So I want that 1,000 to become 2,000. And now I'm gonna do the whole thing over again. And what's dope about that is the people that have been there already, they're gonna come to the next one. And you might get that first time out the gate again, you might get more sales. You might make $10,000 the first day, because now they've been seeing you be consistent and you just continue to do that. I would do, my first startup, I would do 4 launches the year, each quarter. At the end of the quarter, boom, I do a launch for that week or 2 weeks, and then I go right back into building my list. Launch, 2 weeks, go right back to building my list. All right? That's how I would do it if I was doing a startup. Okay, so hopefully that answered your question. I think I got all my points. And if y'all have any other questions, or if you want to see how I would put together a live training and how I do this whole thing, I actually go through my entire launch process and my 3D launch strategy on my live training. I have a live training. You can actually click the link below. It's in the, whatever you call this thing, the caption, all right, or the description. It's in the description. There's a link, or you can visit wordstaylor.net and register for that. I dig into this thing fully, but hope y'all enjoyed this training. There's more to come. If you have any questions, let me know below. I may pick your question next. Let's get it there.